Hello everyone, my name is Anik. Today is day 6 of these AI videos. Today specifically is July 19th, 2026, and we're going to be talking about AI and everyday life and how it's already changing pretty much everything in our society. So let's just begin. So as you can see, AI kind of has kind of revolutionized our industry, our entire world. It's used even before breakfast, right? In our alarm, especially this new app that has been created. It's called Avo Alarm. That I do recommend that you guys should try out. It does have some free options, right? For example, it has the option for you to have an AI voice wake you up in the morning, so that's pretty fun. And so, yeah, and then you can also integrate it with your like integrate it into your life, and it's just way better than just a normal alarm clock that you have on your phone. So this is something that I do recommend for you guys. It's called Avo Alarm, and you guys should try it out. But continue with the video. AI has been used for alarm clocks. It's also used for music, right, in playlists. I do want to show that to you guys right here. As you can see, this is from Spotify. And here's if you're on Spotify and you buy the premium version, then there's this option where you can prompt it to make a playlist for you. So if I click generate playlist, I can describe a perfect playlist in my case, and I can click generate and it'll create a playlist based on some songs I have from other playlists, from what I mentioned, what other music genres that I want to include, etc. So that's something that you guys can do, and that's pretty fun, right? That's it. AI has kind of revolutionized music in a way where we can use AI to help us find new music tastes. So that's something. And then eventually, um, last but not least, we have your email, right? If you check right here on my email, it gives me like an AI overview of Tech Brew, which is a newsletter that I use and read about all the time, and it's just talks a lot about AI. So there's a lot of AI stuff that Tech Brew mentions, and I do recommend this for you guys. It's completely free. You just need to put your email address into the system, and then once it's in the system, then they'll send it to you in the morning. So this is something that's pretty fun, and it's able to just this AI is just able to create an overview of what Tech Brew is talking about, right? Anthropic Fable 5, OpenAI data, NVIDIA, OpenAway AI shifts. There's so much information that I can provide. So this is something that AI has been integrated into Gmail. And honestly, 79% of, as you can see at the bottom, 79% of AI experts say that people interact with AI, but almost 27% of them don't even realize it. Like they don't even realize that AI is in our lives, it's in our internet, it's in our web browsers, in on Google. Google uses it too, right, for creating personalized ads. That's why, let's say if you were to look up ads on Target, or if your friend who is nearby and uses the same internet were to look up ads on Target or look up stuff on Target, then you will receive ads on Target too, because that's how the AI system and algorithm is able to figure out what interests you have. So this graph right here shows the amount of people who have been using technology, kind of like specifically ChatGPT, ever since it's launched. Um, as you can see, in November 2022 is when it first launched, when ChatGPT first launched. Had 0 people, of course. And eventually they had about 0.4 billion, so that's about 400 million people, and then 1.1 billion and 1.8 billion today, which is pretty crazy. So there's been a lot of a big increase and exponential increase actually of people who have used AI in their everyday life, right? 500 to 600 million every single day engage with AI, whether that's ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and other video generators that I've shown in previous videos. And so AI is at work, it's at home, it's at when you play around, right, in games, it's everywhere you look, from your doctor's office to your living room. And specifically, if we start with the doctor's office, example, AI can now pass the U.S. medical licensing exam, so it actually can outperform other physicians in the field who have years of experience on not simple, but complex clinical reasoning tests from public medical institutions. So Harvard has actually utilized these generative AI systems for their curriculum to teach other people on AI in the field, as well as just medicine and medical terms in general. And then AI, like, it has assisted a lot of people with diagnosis and treatment planning. I know a friend from Whitney who's actually, um, she basically created a AI model and AI system that could detect lung cancer in patients' lungs pretty effectively and with high accuracy. And so it's been used in other local hospitals around my area. So that's pretty nice. And I'm glad that she made it because it's helped and treated many people around my area. So that was pretty nice. And so the goal of AI, especially in the medical field, is for, you know, getting faster and more accurate care, right? The doctor is not only sure, the doctor has experience behind his belt or his or her belt, but it does not mean that they're always going to be correct, right? They might give you the wrong prescription, they might give you the wrong treatment. And so AI is kind of like an assistant who can help you out, help the doctor out in identifying problems and diagnosing you. So now AI is also in the workforce, right? Workers, right, across all fields, especially in engineering, medical field as well, have used AI in their job. So like software engineers, aerospace engineers, mechanical engineers, people in the medical field, right, physicians, neuroscientists, and all that have used AI to help them identify problems in the systems and other issues. So many people have used it, right, or over 40% of people have used it, and there has been actually a 15% productivity boost that AI has helped with workers in gaining up to 6 hours of extra free time that they can use for other purposes. So that's pretty nice. And that's every week. And around 31% of people are daily AI users at work. So there has been a steady increase in people who have used it for work purposes. And so AI is not only replacing jobs, but it's also allowing people to work efficiently and effectively at work when they have a lot of tasks to do in a short amount of time. And so AI, if you go to the home example, AI is in our living room, right? Um, Specifically in Netflix uses AI to recommend the best movies and shows and all that to you based on what you selected in the onboarding screen and other like movies that you've watched in the past to determine, okay, this person likes more horror movies or more romance movies or whatnot. So it has done that to help keep you engaged and stay committed to watching Netflix rather than switching to a different provider like Hulu. And then Spotify, you saw with what I've shown before and previously in this video, where Spotify can create a playlist for you, and then it's also the AI system is also able to recommend songs to you based on what you've listened in previous playlists and what you have been listening in the last couple of days as well. So that, yeah, around every Monday they've kind of tailored up to 600 million users certain playlists that are made for them for maybe the summer, maybe for the winter, maybe for different occasions. And so that's a way to engage with more music types and really learn more from different music genres. And then finally, there's also gaming, right? And they have utilized AI to not only create games but also to create create virtual characters in these games, right? NPCs, non-playable characters, and they're able to kind of create a unique and tailored experience for every person, so that every person feels like they belong and want to continue playing the game. Now, there's also the quote unquote creative revolution that that Gamma mentioned when they created this AI slideshow. And it's just talking about different AI models and yeah, especially AI models like Midjourney, DALL-E, and Sora. Sora doesn't exist anymore. They actually stopped and discontinued, but you can also use just Midjourney and DALL-E to create professional images and videos within seconds. You can also use Gemini, right? I mentioned that in the last video actually, and other resources like Descript and all that to also make visual art within a couple of seconds. You can also use AI. You can also use AI to make music. I've seen people who've used AI in an application called FL Studios, which, if you don't know, is an application where you can create beats and produce beats. And so people have utilized AI in their music career to make beats and create new beats that people haven't created before and test it out. So that does raise the question of like originality. Like, if an AI were to make the beat for you that's kind of original, does that mean that you have ownership over that? Is that your beat? Can you copyright that? So there's many concerns over that. And then in writing, right? AI has helped a lot of people in writing. There's Grammarly. Grammarly has an AI system in it that can help, detect patterns within your writing and determine flaws. And there's other tools that can determine your writing. If you simply paste in, like, I don't know, your resume into Gemini or Claude, then it can give you some feedback and help you with drafting ideas, brainstorming, and even creating the final product. So that's something that on the creative side, AI has done. Now, the big question is, there's all these concerns about originality, who owns what, and even just curiosity about AI. So, what do people really feel about AI? How do people feel AI has kind of helped them or, harmed them in a way? Well, in today's society, people have actually felt that they have like a nuanced relationship with AI, right? It's kind of like a love and hate relationship. 73% of them feel that they are willing to let AI help them with day-to-day tasks because it can, take care of repetitive tasks and, make their lives completely way easier. 60% of people say that they want more control over how AI works and how it's used in their lives, so that they can have AI kind of automate more things in their lives that are repetitive that they couldn't have done otherwise, and that would have taken more time. And then finally, 77% of people say that uh, AI users specifically report a favorable impression and they kind of love AI in a way, versus 15% who say they don't really like using it. So AI doesn't only just think, right? It doesn't just take information from the internet and then regurgitate back to you. It also can predict for you, and it's a very good pattern matching engine. People have actually used AI in finance and in like analyzing stock, so it can help predict the stock market. Of course, you have to be very careful if you're gonna do that, because AI can be wrong. AI can almost certainly be wrong in most cases. So you want to be careful if you're using AI solely just to make predictions on the stock market or any other financial gambling site. But AI can, yeah, like I said here on the slideshow, AI can be wrong, can be biased, or it can be confidently incorrect. Um, People call this hallucinations, where the AI model is basically hallucinating and creating false answers confidently, and that's why you kind of need to bring yourself into the equation, ensure that the AI is actually thinking correctly and it's actually helping us in a way and not harming us by generating wrong information for us. And so the skills that still, humans dominate in, of course, is critical thinking. AI cannot replace that. Maybe not in the next year, not in a couple of years, maybe in the future, way in the future, it could, as the AI models get stronger and stronger. And there also creativity, right? You creating novel ideas, artistic expressions, and whatnot are all unique to you and unique to humankind. So there's nothing that can replace that. And then empathy as well. AIs don't feel any emotion. They're just AI models that can think and predict. They can't express any emotion to you. And then finally, adaptability. Although AI can adapt to various situations, humans are notoriously, you could say notoriously, known for learning new skills in a quick pace and embracing change. And so that kind of wraps up the presentation, right? Start using AI today, right? ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, whatever it is. Start low and then eventually climb your way up with AI, because it really just takes a simple step to start the engine and explore creating new things, playing around with AI, and just staying curious and keeping up with the news of AI and how AI is revolutionizing our society today. Thank you for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this video.